for this week's prepping data, we're looking at recreating the network days function that you get in Excel, and we're just going to calculate how many days, working days, sorry, there are between a start date and today. So for my start date, I've chosen the 1st of April 2019 because that's when I joined the information lab. And to get to today, the input data only contains that start date, I should add. To get to today, I add in a today function. So literally by just having the today function in Tableau Prep. And then I want to calculate the number of days between those days. Now, this obviously isn't the final answer because this includes weekends, it includes bank holidays, it includes the days holidays that I took. So our first job here is to make our data into a scaffolded version, so we have a row for each day. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at our scaffold data set here. It's just the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. up to I think about 2000 I included. And we're going to join on a row for every day. So we need 526 days. So we just say our number of days is greater than or equal to the scaffold. So that we get 526 rows. Then to turn that into an actual date for each of those rows, we are just going to take our start date and we're going to do a date add so that we add a day of the number of scaffold so that we get every single day between the start date and today. So you'll notice if I expand that, then I get every day from the 2nd of April. And that's good because we don't want to count the first day, because when you count how many days have passed between Monday and Wednesday, you don't count Monday, you just count Tuesday and Wednesday, for example. So you would say 2 days in that instance. So we want to start our counting from the 2nd day. So that's how we get all of our rows between the day after our start date, and if we scroll all the way down, then we get to today, which is the 8th of September in my case. So I just make that a date because I don't need the time functionality of it, and that's all that I do in that step. Now we want to take out the weekends. So we use a calculated field to just get the date name out. So we do weekday of the date that we just created from our scaffold, and that tells us what days we have. So we've got sort of 75 rows for each of these, roughly anyway, a couple more Tuesdays. And then we filter out our Saturday and our Sunday. So now we only have the working days, if you like. But we still have bank holidays in there. So let's take a look at our UK bank holidays dataset. Luckily, that's already nice and clean for us. It just has a lot of bank holidays back to, I think it's 1998. It's got loads in the future as well. So if you're interested in bank holidays in 2110, then that's the data set for you. So the way that we're going to join them in is that we're going to do a left only join. So we join the date to the UK bank holiday, and then that excludes 13 of those rows which were bank holidays between April last year and now, which is September. So we've had 13 of those bank holidays in the UK. And now we're just going to count. We're going to group on our start date, group on today, and we have summed the number of days and added it to aggregate fields, but because we've renamed it, it disappears because sometimes that's a little bug on Tableau Prep, but I can show you that it definitely is there. If I just repeat the aggregate step with you, then I'll group on the start date, group on today, and I'll just sum the number of rows. Then we get the same number, which is 363. So if I come to here, then you'll see that's 363, where I just renamed it to be working days. Now we need to look into the holidays that I took that year. So I just have a holidays data set here where I have the year and the number of holidays, but I realized that I kind of don't need them split across 2 different rows. I just need to aggregate that together so that there's 26 holidays in total, and I add on this dummy row so that I can join it to this dummy here in this data set as well, so that way I can have them both on the same row next to each other, so that I can just do this calculation where I do my working days minus the day's holiday that I took, and then I just have my final answer once I've removed that holidays field of 337 working days between the 1st of April 2019 and today. So that's how many days I personally have worked for the Information Lab. So I think that was pretty fun, pretty cool, and pretty useful because you can definitely use this in many other business scenarios. For example, when we're looking at the number of days that a ticket has been open, and that's quite useful for complying with SLAs. So I hope that was useful, and thank you for watching.